But I want to give you a little example of how you being over there, keeping, as the Major called it, the bully busy, enabled me to help keep the rest of the world safe. 1973, in October, the Egyptians and the Israelis went at it again in what was called the Yom Kippur War. It seemed like every couple of years the two of them would go and duke it out somewhere. The Israelis would kick their butts and then they'd all go back home for a while. This time, things were going bad for the Egyptians. They were surrounded, their third army was cut off by the Israelis, and the Russians who were on the Egyptian side weren't too happy about that. So they sent a large fleet into the Mediterranean. There were over 90 ships. They had 25,000 troops that they were going to land to support the Egyptian army. They also had a plan, knowing that the United States would never let them get away with that, to launch a preemptive strike against the U.S. naval fleet in the Mediterranean. At the time, there were about 60 American ships in the Mediterranean. I was on one of them. It was kept pretty quiet. I didn't learn about this until a year ago, as a matter of fact. We were minutes away from going into an all-out shooting war in the Mediterranean between the Russian fleet and the American fleet. If it hadn't been for the intervention of Kissinger, name some of you probably remember, those triggers would have been pulled and we'd have had an all-out scrum. But by you being over there, we were able to be in the Mediterranean to prevent that from happening. So I thank you for your sacrifice for allowing me to keep the rest of the world safe. And now, as this comes to a close, I know how things were during the Vietnam War for veterans. It wasn't a very pretty sight. It wasn't what it was today. So I want to close today by just saying, welcome home.